Hello everyone, welcome to Trade. Today we're going to be seeing the trade analysis for Thursday, October 7th, tomorrow, the expiry day, weekly expiry. Today we had a pretty good day. Today and yesterday, anybody who traded on CPR would have made nice money. We'll see the trade review. Yesterday I could not post a video because I got really busy, came home really late. Now coming for the trade review of what happened today. Today we had after getting a flat opening, we had a pretty good move on the upside. Exactly took resistance at this R2 of CPR and then started dipping, right? And how we got a confirmation, I took a short trade probably after this R1 broke down, because that's when I could log in around 1 o'clock. But we had a pretty good confirmation that we might reverse at about 38,100. Why is I'm going to shift to this chart. This is nothing but again CPR levels where I have weekly and monthly CPR, and this CPR, what you see, the purple line and the red lines here, is the daily CPR. If you look at the weekly CPR, the circles are the weekly CPR. The lines, that is dotted lines, right, are weekly CPR. This star is monthly CPR, which is pretty close by. So once we went up, we got a pretty good resistance at the weekly CPR, which was at 38,105. So from there I was expecting a reversal. My view was that we would hit this since we broke out of this weekly CPR range, right? This range. So yesterday we broke out of this, so my view was we might touch this and reverse. So once this red candle came, we were waiting for a confirmation, and that we took this trend line breakdown as a confirmation. The black trend line that I'm drawing, I had this trend line. And since it broke down, by the time I could only enter after this R1 broke, and then we were just scalping throughout, made some pretty decent profit of $7,000. Yeah, early on, if I could trade and if I had taken this move, I would have been in much more profit, but it happens. And even yesterday, based on yesterday and today was a good move for CPR. Let me just put on the historical CPR. I'll just show you how, since I missed the analysis video for yesterday, the best entry yesterday was, even on a 15-minute chart, if we had waited right throughout, this scalp between this R1, this green dotted is S1, sorry, and this purple is the CPR, and above is the R1. So within this we could have taken short scalps, and the best trade was when, for yesterday, is when this kind of this trend line broke out and we were holding this. See, the previous day low was here, the line that I'm putting, the red line, the previous day low, and S1 was here. We were taking support at S1, so we were bound to go up, and the moment this morning star candle came, I went long and exactly got out at R1. Yeah, if I had waited, I could have got a little more, but I trade only based on the CPR levels from level to level. So exited here, made this pretty decent profits. So now coming for the trade possibility for tomorrow, right? I'm back to this CPR where we have the daily CPR. This was what I showed over here is the weekly and monthly CPR, just so that nobody gets confused. So on the daily CPR, I also had this trend line, this black trend line that I've drawn. Today I made use of this trend line from here, something like this. And once this broke, I took confirmation and shorted, but also had this black trend line. So this has been broken down and we have taken support at 37,500, around 37,500 at S1 of CPR today. So the trade possibility for tomorrow, see, the global market right now, it's quite bearish. That's the reason we slipped in the later part of the day. I'll just open up the global market. See, right now, as of now, I'm recording this video at about 4 p.m. Indian time. The Dow is about 360 points down, and even European markets are heavily down, and even the Asian markets, that is Nikkei and Hang Seng, the Asian markets are down. So we could be looking at a gap down. How much gap down we'll get will only come to know after the US market opens and how the SGX Nifty reacts. So the best time to look at SGX Nifty is post 10 o'clock or early in the morning at 6:30 is when SGX Nifty opens, 6:30 a.m. Indian time. So we'll see, based on that exec we'll know whether we're going to get a gap down or a gap up. See, if we get a gap down and break this, this is the tomorrow CPR where it's plotted for 7th October. So if we break this level, right, the previous day low that is around 37,460, in case we break that, we could fill this gap for sure. This gap is coming in at 37,290. There's a possibility we could fill this gap, and if the global markets have recovered and if this S1 holds, there is a good possibility after filling this gap we could go up, probably touch the CPR or so. That is also one possibility. And the second one is, if this gap also breaks, then we could take support at this black trend line that I have drawn. This is again a long-term trend line. The level is coming around 37,000, and even in the OI data I'll be showing we have a good support there. See, I'm just zooming out the screen just to show the trend line from where I've drawn. This is coming from 7th September. We have taken resistance almost 1, 2, 3, support, and fourth time here. So we could come and take support here or even break this. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see tomorrow, but yeah, this is a good reference point where we can take support. See, if we get a good shot in the morning, right, either at the CPR level or when the previous day low break, even this can be a good target to book profits, that is S2. So in case the previous day low breaks and this gap fills, we could hit this level. That is one possibility. See, over here again we have this price support over here. I can even put a trend line that is like a support at this level. From here is where, and this needs to be in green. See, in my videos all the green lines are nothing but the support, black lines will be the trend lines, red lines will be the resistance. That's how even I've coded the CPR, weekly and monthly CPR and kept, so it will be easy to understand. See, from this is where we got a good up move, right? So we could bounce from this level again, we could take support at 37,000. But for tomorrow, I don't see 37,000 breaking, but we'll never know. As today, if the global markets continues to be in red, even we could slip further. And on the daily chart, there is an interesting chart pattern that is forming, a bearish chart pattern in Nifty and Banknifty. I'll be showing you about that in some time. So this is the possibility on the downside if we break. Okay, in case we get a gap up. Okay, in case we get a gap up, we could take resistance at the pivot. In Banknifty, we could take resistance at the pivot levels, or if we come until 37,800, even here is where we can take some resistance. Why is that? I'll shift to a 5-minute chart, it will be more clear. See, here is where we got some resistance, right? So in case we go up, we could take resistance in this level. And I'll keep this trend line also extended. There is a possibility, in case we get a gap up, there's a possibility even we'll retest this trend line and then dip further. So that's why for reference I'll be keeping even this black trend line. So this is the trade possibility for tomorrow in Bank Nifty. Now coming to the open interest, Bank Nifty 7th October. See, 38,000, forget it. There's too much of resistance. I don't think we'll cross 38,000 tomorrow. There's a lot of put unwinding. See, the put OI has gone down in 35,000. So all those who have sold 37,500 put have exited. So again, this could swing either way. 37,500 could be the strike price that can give us the maximum returns tomorrow if we get a good entry. See, from here we have good support, but 37,000 is a very good support. There's absolutely no call sellers. So in case we dip, we could take support here or somewhere around 37,200. That is exactly where even we have our levels marked on the chart. So there is a possibility, according to me, we could, my view would be, if I get this short trade from this level to S1, I'll take it, because there's a good chance we might reverse from 37,200. Okay, that is one thing. And since we have a pretty wide CPR compared to today, there's also another possibility that we could just either gap up or gap down and just remain within the CPR, or if we gap down, remain between this previous day low and CPR. So even being sideways, there's a good possibility because of the wide CPR. So anyway, I'll be trading post 1, and depending on how the market moves, if it's going to be sideways, just stay out of buying options as tomorrow is expiry. In case it trends by breaking the previous day low, yeah, probably we can see lower levels. Now just to add one more thing is why I said 37,200. Apart from OI, we also have the monthly CPR. The star lines that you see here are the cross lines, that is nothing but monthly CPR. The dotted lines are the weekly CPR. Even monthly CPR is coming in at 37,200. So there's a good possibility if we dip, we can reverse, or we might even break monthly CPR. In this case, if we break monthly CPR, wait for a retest of this monthly CPR pivot at 37,200, and then probably we can get a good trade on the downside if we dip even further tomorrow. Now I'm just going to go to a plain Banknifty chart, what I've opened here, and this is the 1 hour time frame. The interesting chart pattern that I'm seeing in Banknifty is it's not yet formed, but it's in process. It could get formed. That is nothing but a head and shoulder pattern right at the top. Like consider this as left shoulder, head shoulder, and right shoulder. And so if this low breaks, right, that low of 37,360, probably this could complete. Once this completes, yeah, this is a bearish chart pattern. So we know that if this line breaks, then 36,800, then we could see further downside of up to 1,500 points down. That would be the target, somewhere close to 35,000 if this chart pattern forms. But it's still not yet done, right? So just letting everybody know so you can be prepared. So we still have another, say, 400-500 points to come and then get a breakdown. So if this happens, it's good. Otherwise, maybe we'll dip little and again go up. So we'll have to wait and watch. But just keeping this chart pattern, like kind of following it, is also good. So when that breakdown comes, the breakdown line is 36,900 or 36,890. So when that comes, we should not miss. So we know that this is a head and shoulder breakdown and we could go further down. So that's the whole point of putting it in this video. Now coming to Nifty, see, even Nifty was pretty simple today. As soon as this, I didn't even open the Nifty chart. I didn't have time. I just opened it for the video to kind of like just draw the lines. See, in Nifty, when this trend line broke, right, it was a good shot. If I shift to a 15-minute chart, see, this was a long trend line from past 3 days. So once this broke, it was a good shot with the pivot as the targets, and the next good entry was when we left this pivot, CPR pivot, right? When this candle we left it, we could have shorted until S1 and the previous day low, exactly where we took support. Now, even in Nifty, we have a pretty much similar scenario where we have this gap. If this level of 17,640 breaks, we could fill this gap and hit S1 of 17,540 or maybe even 17,450 is possibility. And on the upside, we could take resistance again over here around this level, that is, I'll make it in red. If we go up, in case we get a small gap up and go up, we could take resistance at 17,700. And another interesting chart pattern in Nifty on the daily chart. Now I'm opening the Nifty daily chart, a plain Nifty daily chart. Okay, this is a very good engulfing candle. What is engulfing? Like, I think most of you trading will know what is engulfing, right? When one candle, when this bearish engulf, see, this candle is kind of engulfed the previous candle, okay, which was today's move has taken out the entire yesterday's move and given a closing below yesterday's open, right? So this is quite bearish. So if we slip, see, even on daily, it's pretty clear we could probably fill the small gap and even come until 17,650 or 67. sorry, 17,560 is possibility, but this is a very bearish price action. Right at the top of the chart you're getting a bearish engulf, is a very bearish price action. Now looking at the open interest for Nifty for tomorrow, 17,700, there's some good resistance. There's a lot of put unwinding at 17,600. See, as of now it's looking like 17,600 is a support, but if this breaks, the next support is 17,500. So let's look at our Nifty chart. 17,000. Okay, we can also add a line here based on the OI. In case we get a very hard dip, right, like hard dip in the sense like we continuously fall like today, for some reason we could take support at 17,500 based on the open interest currently. This can break tomorrow if it is very bearish, or we could see a good reversal from here, some 17,500 based on the open interest. Even Nifty is kind of a white CPR based on the move that we got today. Both Nifty and Banknifty. The best thing to do tomorrow is like trade probably post 1 hour or 1.5 hours of the market, so we kind of can get a view of where the market is heading. See, we might get a gap down, a huge gap down or a gap up based on the global market and just remain sideways between two levels. It will be either within the CPR, we don't know which level, right? That can happen only in the live market, or between this previous day low and CPR, or between this S1 and previous day low, or between S2 and S1. Because of the white CPR, this is a possibility that I'm looking at. So even in this sideways, right, once we kind of identify the trend where the market is range bound within, say, S1 or S2 or previous day low, the CPR, so we can take short trades within this. It'll be like a minute trade or a 2-minute trade. Within few minutes you'll have to exit, but a short scalping is possible. Since the premiums will be low, we can even try and go with more lots. But especially on Thursday, don't wait for those big trades. If it's not coming, just blindly exit, because the premiums can become zero. It will become zero if it is out of the money. So that's it guys for today. Sorry, yesterday I missed the video, but yesterday also was a good day for us. And even today was a pretty good day. We made about 7k, which is good. That too for trading post 1:30. So that's it. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel for more analysis video and learning videos. Thank you.